Hello. Hi, you guys. I'm Jess, and I run LuLaRoePghJess, and I also lead Team Daydream Believers. And I have a little bit of laryngitis. Bear with me. I really wanted to share with you tonight my thoughts on selling LuLaRoe while also working full time. So, I started selling LuLaRoe in February of 2016. It is currently December of 2016. And so I have sold LuLaRoe now for about 10 months. And one thing that I have found is that a lot of LuLaRoe consultants, definitely not all, but a lot of LuLaRoe consultants do sell LuLaRoe full time. Or they're selling LuLaRoe with the hope of eventually being able to either leave their full time job or at least really cut back at their full time job to sell LuLaRoe. And let me say that I think it is so phenomenal that LuLaRoe is opening so many doors and giving so many women and families the opportunity to truly live the life that they want to live, whatever that may be. And so if you want to sell LuLaRoe full time, I absolutely think that you can, and I think it's an amazing, amazing opportunity. With that being said, I do work full time. I work full time as a family practice physician assistant, and most of the time I really do love my job, and I've worked really hard to get to where I am in my career. So for me, LuLaRoe was really never about leaving that job. LuLaRoe instead for me really was about two main things. It is about two main things. So I started to feel like there was this big part of me that was drowning, or that was kind of missing in some ways. And I started to feel like I am a wife, and I am a mom, and I am an employee, but I'm also this outgoing and creative and fun loving person. And I felt like that part of me just wasn't shining through anymore. And I was frustrated because that's the part of me that makes me feel like me. And that was the part of me that I felt like wasn't there. And LuLaRoe, in so many ways, has helped that part of me to come back out. And I'm so thankful for that. But the other thing is I have a lot of school debt. Like, I'm talking six figures of school debt. And so when I started selling LuLaRoe, I had 27 years left of a 30-year repayment plan, and I was making payments of well over $1,000 a month. And it was so frustrating to me because I felt like I was working so hard and I was paying so much money every month, and I still was going to be paying off my education when my daughter, who is 2, was done with her college education. Like, that was crazy to me, and it was frustrating to me. And largely, in part, largely due to that debt, I also felt like my family was able to make ends meet, but we didn't have a lot of extra money to go on vacations or to go on nice date nights or to do some of the extra things that I really wanted us to be able to do. And it's so exciting for me to be able to tell people that I've done a couple of things, and I will never ever lie about it. But I did do some loan reconsolidation, which was helpful. But I've also poured a ton of my profits from LuLaRoe into my school debt. And I now have 5.5 years left, and my debt will be paid off, which is crazy. That means that I have just given my family 20 years of over $1,000 a month that we weren't going to have otherwise. That's huge. That is incredible to me. And then in addition, kind of going back, LuLaRoe has really given my family the opportunity to do that extra, to go on nice vacations, to go out to dinner at nice restaurants, and to not worry. I always like to share this story that a couple of months ago now, my husband totaled our car. And thankfully, very thankfully, he was okay. Everybody was okay. But it was a car that we had just paid off. And it was a relatively new car. I mean, we thought we would still have this car for at least 5, if not 10 more years. And so when it was totaled, it was really unfortunate, and we didn't really want to acquire another car payment, but the money we got from the insurance company was not nearly enough to buy a new car. And thankfully, largely in part to LuLaRoe, we had enough money saved in the bank that we were able to buy a new car. And it wasn't that big of a deal. You know, it wasn't. It was something that had happened. Everybody was fine. We got through it and we moved on. And we didn't have this tremendous amount of stress. And that is so big and so important to us. LuLaRoe is allowing me to live that life that I really want. And it lets me know that as my daughter gets older, I can help her and allow her to experience life as well. That does not mean I'm going to like hand her life on a silver platter, but it does mean that if she wants to play sports or do different activities or we want to go on family trips, we can do those things. And that in and of itself means so much to me. So going back to working full time and selling LuLaRoe, I'm here to share with you that it absolutely can be done. I'm not into sugarcoating things, and I already said that, but I will tell you it is a lot of work and it is hard. But for me, it has been very worth it. And in my experience and in my opinion, it's very worth it. So I would say that for the first 3 to 4 months, that was definitely the hardest period of time for me. And I probably spent 25 to 30 hours a week on my LuLaRoe business during those first few months. But for me, I was building this really strong foundation to get my business off the ground. And that's important. I was building a strong customer base. I was showing my customers that they could trust me, that I would give them amazing customer service, and that I was here for them. And so in turn, I now have an amazing group of women who love to shop with me, who send their friends and family into my group because they know what to expect, and that means a lot. The other thing was I had to learn how to organize myself and my business and how to operate my business in a way that worked for me. And so now in month 10 and months, 7, 8, 9, whatever, I am able to spend probably 10 to 15 hours a week instead of 25 to 30, but accomplish the same things because I'm so much more efficient now and I have a system in place that works for me. And that's something that takes time. And I share that with you because I think, unfortunately, some people feel that they can just get into LuLaRoe, not work very hard, and make a lot of money. And that's not the case. But with that being said, if you go into LuLaRoe and know that the time you put into it and the energy that you put into it and the investment of yourself that you put into your own business is all happening to build yourself up and build this business and lay the foundation that you need, the framework that you need to be strong, I think that that makes it so much better. Because once you've built that business and once you've built that framework, it's still work. You still have to put time and energy into it, but it's totally different. And the other thing that I can share with you is, and I think everybody has been there are days that I lay in bed in the morning and think, oh my gosh, I do not want to go to work today. And I drag myself out of bed and I go to work. And I know that if I picked up a part-time job for, I don't know, 16 or 20 hours a week, one, it wouldn't be as financially profitable for me. But two, I would not want to go to that part-time job. But I can tell you that for me, I love LuLaRoe. It is fun. And it's something that brings joy, honestly, into my life. And so I don't mind doing it. It's something that is fulfilling to me. And so it's time that instead of me wasting time doing something different, I'm doing something that not only am I profiting from financially, but I feel like I am getting so much more out of it as well. And so it doesn't feel like work. Um, I do truly believe that you can still work full time and sell LuLaRoe. You can still be an amazing mom and an amazing spouse and an amazing whatever other component of your life you have and make LuLaRoe work for you. And that I think is really what makes LuLaRoe so amazing is you can spend 40, 50 hours a week doing it. You can spend 10 hours a week doing it, and you can form and mold your business into whatever you want it to be. And so that's something that has been so life changing for my family and for myself. And I really think that if you want it, you can make it happen. I would love to chat with you about this a little bit more. Whether you're in my shoes and you work full time, whether you're a stay at home mom with your kiddos and you need some extra income, or whether you hate your job and you want this to be your full time deal, let's chat and let's make it work. You can reach me at LuLaRoePghJess at gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/LuLaRoePghJess. Thanks, guys.